everyone to a modern video where I am playing Mill. I haven't played Mill in a very long time, I want to say. Last time it was with Blue-White Mill. I remember making a trophy with it, but again, must have been like, what, 6 months ago, probably. And Mill recently came back with a top 4 actually, in Modern Challenge. And what's the reasons? Well, the reason, honestly, I think it's that 4-color is downtrending, at least on Magic Online. Way less 80 cards plus, you know, endurance and Madame Recall that make your plan pretty hard. Also, there was a time where a lot of decks had Emrakul in the sideboard, if you remember at the beginning of Modern, where Mill was like a threat. It's not that much that anymore. You still have Blue and Murktide around, which isn't a great matchup, but definitely winnable. The biggest fear of this deck are the Emrakul or whatever, Eldrazi, and the Endurance. The goal of the deck is to deck your opponent, so not make them draw for turn anymore because they don't have more cards. That's your win con. You don't attack. You have Hedron Crab and Growing Crab. You have Tasha's Hideous Laughter, the new, I mean, it's not new at this point, it's more than a year old, but both this and Fractured Sanity are your 3-mana mill a lot of cards. And then you have Archive Trap, which is the mill 13. You have removal spells in Drain the Loch, Fatal Push, Baleful Mastery, which kind of funny addition to the deck. Basically, I think what's happening is that its goal is you make your opponent draw a card. So, yeah, I mean, it's a removal spell, then you want to draw a card. It might seem like it's a bad thing, but actually you want to make your opponent draw cards. You even play Mikokoro, Center of the Sea, to make them draw more cards. Very strange addition for sure. We got Each of the Story. We got, what, Surgical Extraction, 3 in the main, and 3 Extirpate in the side. And this happened to be good against combo decks. Decks where you mill them, and then you Extirpate or Surgical the key card. Or if you, you don't play Thoughts in this deck, but you can still like Surgical, I don't know, Murktide Regent on turn 1 against Blue Red Murktide, and then they can't go turn 2, 8-8 because you milled all their spells, you know? Visions of Beyond is often a Ancestor Recall. And then we got 22 lands, a couple of Shelldock Isle, Oboro, which is relevant since if you don't have a land drop, you buy the land drop back and mill them again. One thing I see, it's weird, it's only 5 fetch lands. I find that very weird. You know what? I think I'm changing the card here. I'm cutting the basic swamp. I don't want to play two basic swamp in my Fractured Sanity deck. I'm just gonna play an additional fetch land. With crabs, fetch lands are amazing, and we have plenty of lands. I mean, that's 7 lands. That's more than enough. And the Cyber Resolga Lantern, which is very important against effects like Endurance, because you want to exile their graveyard. If you have this in play, they can't Endurance back their graveyard because you exile it in response. And same thing with Eldrazi. If they mill an Eldrazi, trigger on the stock, you exile their whole graveyard, and they're not gonna shuffle anything back. Couple of Ghost Quarter, a couple of removal spells, a second Crypt Incursion, very good against decks where you wanna just gain life. Buongiorno Dedicarn, buongiorno Francesco, everybody. Alright, that's the deck tech of the mill deck. I mean, very honestly, very straightforward plan for the mill deck. Nope. I mean, very straightforward plan for the mill deck. Just need to mill your opponent and survive. You don't care about life total. This deck does not attack. It's just impossible for this deck to attack. You don't have any creatures that can put up an attack phase. So your goal is, yeah, it's simply to reduce your opponent deck size from 0 to 0. From 60 hopefully to 0. I was going to join a Legacy League yesterday. We played 2 Legacy League, one with Sultai Depths. The video is going to go up on Channel Fireball. Probably is already up. And the other was the Riddle Smith combo, which is already up on my YouTube channel. I didn't win very much, but they were definitely fun decks. You have this deck in paper? Yeah, I mean, Mill is a popular deck. Certainly, lots of mill player around. Archive Trap is very important. Remember that effect like Field of Ruin force your opponent to search for their deck. So that you can go Field of Ruin plus Archive Trap. Your opponent cannot choose to not search their deck, whereas card like Path to Exile or Boseiju, you can, but Field of Ruin, you can't. And now you have Archive Trap, which then mills your opponent for 13. It's a very powerful combination for sure. Alright, first round. They are on the play. Thankfully, they have 60 cards only. I'm keeping this hand. It doesn't do much, but we got lands. We got lands. Tasha's Hideous Laughter on Magic Online used to be like 30 ticks, and now it's 3. It went down a lot. Again, last year at the beginning of Modern Horizons 2, there were a lot of mill. Oh, grief. Okay. Is that Living End? What did I pitch? Grief. Huh. A Living End is definitely an interesting matchup. We can mill their Living End and surgical it. That's probably the best plan. Yeah, that seems to be Living End. I'm not going to fetch because we have crabs in our deck. Of course, it's kind of weird that you are milling your opponent so that you put more stuff in their graveyard. Looks like they don't have any cyclers. Okay, Sunken Ruin. Did I go already with a Charlotte's Agent? Yes, okay. So, Charlotte's Agent casts a Living End, which brings back Grief. And then I'm going to let them rearrange my top 3 cards first, and then I'll draw a card. Or not. No, maybe I should draw a card first. Yeah. Okay, mill that. Ooh, Crypt Incursion. Oh wow, so close. Ha! So close. Okay, so they have 8 power, so they can kill me actually very soon here. And I don't have Ensnaring Bridge in the main. Oh wow, that was a yeah, that's a grief to discard it. It's alright. It's all good. So I draw probably a bad card here. Because yeah. I can either fetch or draw probably Mikokoro. I think I'd rather fetch. They attack me for 8 down to 12. Yeah, I don't think there's much I can do about this game. I want to say that my hand was already pretty shaky, and then I also ended up not drawing a single spell. That's a pretty deadly combination. Alright, opponent is slow, thinking thoroughly about their plays. They fully know my hand, so honestly, I don't even know what I am playing for. If I draw a crab, I could mill. Let's say 9. That's not enough. That's not nearly enough. Hello, Richard. How's it going? We are... Okay, you ended up going for a top land. Again, let's just try and think if I have any outs or if I just draw a card. I think I'm just drawing the card here. I want to keep the fetch land around. So this one I can exile a spell. I think I will do that. I can't even Otawara this because they have Sunken Ruin to recast the Grief. Yeah, the... Baleful Mastery. They have a Force of Negation here. I don't think I have any outs. Let's try to think about the sideboard already. So we have Extirpate, Crypt Incursion, Soga Lanterns, maybe Damnation as well. I don't know why my opponent taking so long. They probably are doing something else in the meanwhile. Hello, Boy Brush. Yeah, I am writing a very long article on Affinity in Modern called A Deep Dive, where I talk about Affinity, which I think to be the strongest budget deck in Modern. A lot of people start with that one, and it's a great choice. Get in detail. Okay, weird that he didn't cast it. Draw. Okay, push. Cool. Yeah, we survived here. We somehow survived. Your opponent's gonna just living end us again, and eventually we're gonna lose, but I guess I'm surviving right now. Drew double back-to-back removal spell. Sometimes you play this control game, which is like reasonable as long as you have a crab in play, because without a crab, well, we don't really have a plan at the moment. And if you're watching this video on YouTube, make sure to just double the speed. At least 1.5. Because for some reason my opponent is just clicking one button every 30 seconds, which makes the the streaming pretty boring, I wanna say. I think it used to be very expensive. Really? When? Alright, so I'm gonna Otawara the thing and then push the other one. I certainly don't want to push the Shardless. So where you always watch everything at double speed on YouTube? Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's great. Probably double queuing. You can't really double queue the leagues. Oh, you could double queue like a league and something else. But I know my opponent's from Europe. Are you double queuing at 9 a.m.? I don't know, seems tough. Maybe what's happening is that my opponent is actually working, and as they're working, they also play Living End. Mango having to become an entertainer because opponent's playing slow. You know, that's actually a problem sometimes. I just want to sit here and play Magic, but if opponent doesn't click any button, I have to actually just say something. Alright, I'm finally going to concede. Should have probably done this like 5 minutes ago. If I knew how this game would have gone, I would have for sure. Alright, now, Damnation, Crypt Incursion, Ensnaring Bridge. Extirpate, 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 Soga Lantern, Soga Lantern, Soga Lantern. Push, 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 push. Cut. Baleful Mastery. What else? Any mill cards I want to cut? Yeah, probably just the Fractured Sanity. Into the story. Yeah. Or actually, Archive Trap I'm gonna cut. No, never mind. Archive Trap is great. Let's go fetch. I go Archive Trap, Extirpate. What's my favorite deck in Modern? 4-color VEEDEO combo. Alright, that's my deck. Lands, is there any bad lands? No. Let's go. Isn't Tasha not the best? But Tasha exiles. Well, that's probably true. Like, I actually want to mill them in this matchup because I have 6 surgical extraction effect. Yeah, Tasha isn't great. They have a high or converted mana cost, but sometimes it just mills like 10 cards and that's fine. I think spot removal spells suck. I mean, I could have Ghost Quarter, but that doesn't seem great. Yeah. I think this is the best. It exiles, which is a big deal, but at the same time they have 7 drops. So we don't agree to fill. Back in the days when I was playing a lot of standard, this card was a nightmare because I never played Demon Rogues. I always played control decks, bad control decks, and my opponents would always have Into the Story right when I thought things were safe, and I would lose from there. Probably the worst days of my life, honestly. Anyway, not because of Into the Story, just in general. Anyway, would you like to play first? Yes, I would. Thank you. I'm gonna keep this in. The Field of Ruin can get me the black mana. How many kilograms of cheese do you consume on a daily basis? That's a weird question. I don't know. Do I consume kilograms of cheese? No, probably not. Well, Land of Sanctity does nothing. Classic Land of Sanctity. Remember when I played Living End? People were always so upset that I didn't sideboard in Land of Sanctity against anyone. It's a really bad card. It's a really bad card. Like, look at my hand. It doesn't have a single card that says target my opponent. Any Living End in the graveyard? Not yet. That's good. Alright, a bunch of creatures in the graveyard. I'm gonna eventually extirpate the Living End, hopefully. The next turn I'm gonna mill 12. Say 12. Yeah, I'm gonna mill 12 next turn. No, they have grief. That's a shame. I take my extirpate. But again, my deck has 3 extirpate, 3 surgical, 3 Soulgate Lantern, so hopefully I draw one of these. They have only 3 cards in hand after the mulligan to 5. Draw. Niente. Ma porca merda. E do I go fill the ruin? Maybe I should just go Mikokoro here. Maybe I should have just cycled the Fractured Sanity. Yeah, I think I'm cycling it now. If I draw Extirpate, I'll tilt a little bit. Alright, let's cycle. Maybe I draw Soga Lantern. Yeah, I should have definitely not played land before cycling. Okay, let's see if my opponent has the Cascade spell, which they probably will have, and they probably will beat me regardless of their Mulligan 2-5. Oh wow, they let me go. I unfortunately do not have black mana in play, so I can't play Crypt Incursion in response to their... Oh! Very good, they don't have the thing. They do not have the Cascade spell. Leaving End is there. My opponent graveyard is 24, so I can't play this Visions of Beyond. I think I'm gonna draw 3 now. No, I think I'll wait. Their upkeep. It's only bad if I draw surgical. Oh, sorry. It's only bad if I draw Soga Lantern, but at the same time, there's one Living End in the graveyard. They play for some negation, which resolves. Should I play Crypt Incursion now? Nah, I think I'll wait. They pass. I'm gonna draw a card of Mikokoro. Each player draws a card. Extirpate. Very nice. Actually, Hedron Crab cannot target them, so I'll have to target myself. Opponent has 19 cards in the deck. I'll pass. Incursion targets. Exile or creatures from target player's graveyard. Alright, then... That's weird. I thought it was exiling all creatures. It's okay. What did I do? Land. Va bene. Pass. Va bene. I'll draw another card with Mikokoro. Yeah, I'll just untap, draw, Archive Trap. Okay. I'll play Delta, mill you for 6, mill myself for 3. Milling myself for 3 is actually relevant also because when they play Living End, I will milk them crabs and they'll come back, so I can untap and mill them again. Okay, do I want to side in for... Do I want to side for the ley line? So things that target are Hedron Crab, what else? Archive Trap, and Crypt Incursion. Honestly, just looking at my sideboard, I don't have any good card. I mean, Tasha into the story could be good, but they can also not be good, you know what I mean? So I think it's alright. I can't play Crypt Incursion. He targets the player. Alright, I'm gonna keep this hand. Pretty funny hand. I actually want to take a screenshot. It's a pretty funny hand. Our opponent fetches, that's nice. And they passed. I think they have a Mystical Dispute. But obviously I have to play this now. I can't wait. They just Mystical Dispute. It's okay. Yep. Not paying. Not paying. Because you can't do this in your turn. Nice draw, Mango. Do I just go for a... Yeah. I'll go for a Watery Grave so that I'm able to play drawing in the Loch. And now that we have Soga Lantern opponent, I mean, it's a good card. Draw. Field of Ruin? Okay, not bad. Do I want to surgical something? Just to take a look at their hand. I think so, yeah. I'll surgical the Curator of Mysteries. Do I spend mana? Yeah. No, they had Architects of Will. Okay. Think I'm actually going to surgical Architects of Will now. Yeah. And that probably just force pitch Architects of Will. And I'm happy with that. Because if I just let them untap, they simply cycle it. Why didn't I extirpate the living again last game? Well, I won. I didn't need to. I won without it. Wow, weird. They didn't. Oh man, okay. So their hand these 4 cards, and you go. I need a crab. I mean, this deck really needs a crab to win. Did I take out the ley line? Yeah, first. Wow, they drew Foundation Breaker. That's not bad. I'm gonna draw a card then. Draw a card. Fractured Sanity. Draw. Okay. I'll pass here. Wish I drew a normal land so I could run in the Loch the leading end and then extirpate it. As it is. Okay, my opponent passes. I'm going to Field of Ruin their land. They play Forest. I just cycle the Vision of Beyond here. And draw a card. Nice. A little crabby. And an Archive Trap. Okay. Do I have any play available? I think I simply pass now. And they don't play Violent Outburst. Hmm. I don't have any play available end of turn. I don't really want to. Okay, they cycle. I don't really want to mill. I'm just making each player draw a card here. It's a pretty bad draw. Another crab, but no lands. Cosa faccio? I think I do nothing once again. This card has to mill. It's not me, right? Each opponent has 4 cards. I don't want to mill them. I think I'll make every player draw a card once again. Opponent goes to discard this way, but I feel like I need to draw some cards here. There are 8 cards in it right now. They can play Violent Outburst, or they can just discard a creature. Alright. Draw. Lens. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Crab, Field of Ruin, and then get a Swamp, and then Extirpate my opponent leaving end. Yeah. So I'll go Crab. I'll play a 0/3 Crab, because that can block the Foundation Breaker. Do I want to do it now? Yeah, and I'm gonna do it in my opponent's draw step. They can't respond to the Extirpate with an Endurance, for example. But they can't like bounce my crab, so I don't mill. But if at the same time, if I give them 1 mana now, they can cycle. This one is Swamp Walk. That's true. We could run in the Loch the straight rate though eventually. So I'm gonna just wait to draw a step because they might draw another living end, you know, or an island. So in draw step, I'm gonna do this. Remember, Extirpate has a split second, so my opponent cannot play Endurance, cannot play Outburst, Force of Negation. Okay. First, before milling them, I'm gonna Extirpate, so I have more chances at exiling relevant cards. Again, split second, remember. Okay, so they have a living end in end. So 4 living end are exiled. I'll take another screenshot of their deck. They have Endurance, 3 Force of Negation, 2 Asharless Agent, and Island. Okay. Resolves. And then you mill 3. Okay. Alright. They have 3. Oh, I should have archive trapped them. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway. Three living end standard? No, they play 4. I go to 12. I'm going to archive trap them now, I think. Because they shuffled their deck. So cast for 0, target you. And if I mill an Endurance, which I did, I can then Extirpate the Endurance. And my opponent cannot respond, okay? I'm actually doing it now so that they can't respond. Okay? That's why you play split. That's why you play Extirpate, I guess. Opponent isn't able to respond to this. That's a cool thing of why you play Extirpate, I guess. I'm gonna save it. So I'll exile the Endurance. Any more Endurance in the graveyard? No, I think I got them all. Okay, so I'm gonna take an additional screenshot. And their deck right now is 3 Grief, Dispute. Okay. Yeah. And then I take a draw step. 5 cards in hand, it's a lot of forces. Draw. I would love to do draw land. And don't. No, not a problem. I'm still in a great shape here. Because I'm on 12. So yeah, not moving, you can go. Not moving, you can go. They have forces, so I don't want to cast spells. They have 14 cards in the deck at the moment. You can draw. I got a 9. They pass with their forces up. So I have to do things now. What can I do? I think I simply cycle this. They go to 9 cards in the deck. If I draw land, I win. Alright, so I can go Crab. Crab. Island. Melee for 9. And that's game over. Alright. Cool game. What happened was the matchup is pretty bad game 1. But then thanks to your heavy sideboard, you win, I guess. Reasons to play Extirpate in the mill sideboard. Opponent has Endurance in hand. Endurance and 3 forces in hand. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that was good. I think that was a very good game. We navigated through a lot of 8, like a lot of forces and things like that. Alright, on the play. Sure, that's a good end. What do I bottom? I think Otawara. Maybe just surgical. I know my opponent. They're. I'm expecting them to play like a fair deck. I'm gonna bottom surgical here. I like the rest of the hand. Since I'm expecting a fair deck, do I go land crab? Because that dies to removal. Let's go. Put a mulligan to 6. I think I will. It gives me the option to mill 12. If they don't have, always turn 1 crab, but that's not true. If you only have one crab, you should definitely save it for turn 2. That's one of the first things I learned when playing Mill. But since I have 2, I think it's fine. Okay. Ephemerate Solitude, okay. Witness, Time Warp. Hmm. We already milled 13 cards, that's pretty cool. Yeah, with this end, sure. It's not always, but yeah. Wall of Omens. And Glassful Mimic, okay. I feel like I'm about to mill a lot of cards here. I'm gonna hold Surgical for when my opponent plays Eternal Witness. So I don't want a Surgical now. Even though they probably have a lot of Eternal Witness, so I'm actually removing cards from the deck. I don't care about that one. Solitude, pitching Soul Herder. Okay. Weird they didn't Solitude in their turn. But okay. And then Tasha. They have on 29. They are on 12 cards. I mill 12. Okay? La Grella. Okay, 2 Witness are in the graveyard. Alright, I pass. They're on 17 cards. I have an Archive Trap in play. I feel pretty good. Alright, turn 3 win. Now, what do I want? I don't know, probably Soga Lantern. Damnation. Actually, why Soga Lantern? No, I don't want Soga Lantern. Is Explosives any good? I don't really know what to do. Probably Surgical isn't great. They probably have Endurance, right? That's true. They probably have Endurance. Thank you. Thank you to Speed Frog. Can you surgical and trap them? No. No. Trap is only when they search their library. If your opponent searches their library. Whereas surgical, you search their library. Okay, Beffa 05. They don't work together. But although Archive Trap works well with Field of Ruin, because Field of Ruin makes them search the library. Anyway, so I'll bring in. Do I even want the bridge? Probably, yeah. So this 5 cards seems good. I think I'm actually cutting all the surgicals. No glimpse. No, it's been a while the glimpse. It's been a while the glimpse is out. I think I'm siding out Visions of Beyond whenever I bring in the lanterns. I don't know. That's alright. I have Solga Lantern. I think that's enough. I don't want to have a billion cards that don't do that much for my plan. Okay, this hand isn't great, but I'm keeping it regardless. Only needs one land to be fixed, and then it has Damnation, which is great. Soil Lantern, which is great, and yeah, I have a. If I draw a Swamp immediately, I have a great start with Push, Lantern, and things like that. Put Mulligans to 5. They want to have more cards in the deck. Do I want to play Lantern? Probably not. Really, yes, actually. Yeah, I'll play Lantern. Why not? No. Go. I love how they didn't fetch. Okay, now they do. Do you play one filter land? Sunken Ruins? No, no. Filter Ruins, Sunken Ruins isn't great. Could I maybe drawn a card of Lantern before making the land drop? I think that would have been better. I'm definitely cracking this to draw a card here. Yeah, wish I did that. Draw. I could go for a Field of Ruin to shape up my mana. I think that's better. Otherwise, I just don't really have a play if I play one of these crabs. Actually, I think I'm going to do this now. Since I don't want to give them the mana to cast. But what land do I get here? Because if I get Island, I can't cast Damnation if I draw land. I think I will get Island. And I'll play a crab. Yeah. Oh, they go Ephemerate. Sure. Do I mill them for 13? I think I don't want to mill them for 13 here. Yeah, I don't want to mill them for 13. You can go. Oh, Mana Tide they have? Really? Nah. I think they just had Ephemerate and we're thinking about drawing 2 cards with it. Because they mulligan 2/5 in this game, so they kind of wanted more cards, I think. I maybe fix their mana with Field of Ruin. I don't know. Solerde. Okay. I can't Field of Ruin anything because they only have basic lands. That's a shame. I was planning on going Field of Ruin push, but I can't. Alright, drew the Swamp. Can't cast Damnation though. I'm just going double crab and pass there. Do you have any Endurance in the graveyard? You do not. Okay. And I pass. Deputy of Detention. Okay. You can exile both of my crabs. And you pump your Soul Order. That's sweet. You attack with all. Do I want to push the Soul Herder? Because I could push the Soul Herder and they go Ephemerate. And I top deck a Swamp and go Damnation. That's pretty cool. I think I will do that. I'll push the Soul Herder. This also saves life. Unfortunately, I didn't have a second Swamp. I cut that last second. Yep. So the push fizzles. But this makes me able to top deck a Swamp and do a disaster. So I should pitch Deputy now. Okay, they have 1 card in hand. They have 1 card in hand. I'm gonna mill them for 13. And then I'm gonna top deck a Swamp. Let's go. I still didn't mill any single Endurance, by the way. Alright, let's top deck a Swamp here. Swamp for Mengu. Now. Drawn in the Loch. It's not a swamp. Again, I don't have another swamp in my deck. I cut it last second. Wish I didn't cut it. Alright. Don't cut the swamp. That's the lesson to learn. E cosa faccio? I mean, they have two cards. They have in hand the Ephemerate. Maybe I just kill the thing that I want to Ephemerate. Because I don't want to kill this Deputy, because my plan is to cast the Damnation. I'm gonna kill the things that I want to Ephemerate so that they don't draw an extra card. The question though is, do I want to play Field of Ruin? Do I need triple blue? Yeah, maybe. Maybe not. Maybe I just cast Baleful Mastery full retail. Yeah. And pass. I'll take 6, down to 9. One, two, three. What's that? Night of Autumn. Okay. Alright, come on, let's draw Swamp. Swamp! Swamp! Swamp. Nice. Ancestral Recall. Swamp. I go to 6. Hope they don't have a spell pierce. Please don't have a spell pierce. Nice. And now we have to hope they don't have endurance, and then we win. Because if you don't have the endurance now, I'll on top with 2, drawing the Loch, so I win. Alright, then I should be good to win now. Draw. So to begin, I'm going to... Oh. How many cards can I mill here? 3, 6, 9. I can mill 9. Do I want to mill now 9? I think what I want to do is, for sure, Solitude this... Sorry, drown the Solitude. Before they have the Ephemerate. And then I'll mill you for 3. I'll, Actually, I don't want to fetch yet. Because I might get double black. I don't know, maybe I need double black. And then I got a Watery Grave. Or I might just draw another crab. One is on 14 cards in the deck. Ruin Crab is there. They have 3 cards in hand. They still didn't reveal a single endurance. Okay, turn a witness. I'll counter this. I don't fetch end of turn. I'll just untap. Draw. Mikokoro. Okay. Play Mikokoro. You go to 11. Oh, there it is. That's the first endurance. I think I draw a card now. Ruin Crab. That's a strong one. Does it make me win? I think so, yeah. So I go Crab. Good thing I drew a card here. Obviously, it doesn't make me win if my opponent has a endurance in end. Go Island. Mill 6. Endurance is there. They have 2 endurance in the graveyard. And then I Field the Ruin this land. And they go to 0 cards in the deck. And I'm only hoping now that they don't have an endurance. So 200 are in the graveyard. Let's see. Let's see if they play 4. Have 3 cards in hand, 3 cards in deck. Ah, he says it didn't draw a single endurance. Yeah, 3 of them are in the graveyard. Alright. That's cool. It was, what's it called? Grixis Shadow. They had 3 drown. It's a good card, of course. You mill them, so it's both a counter and a thing, but often. Sometimes it's also just not a card because they have, I don't know, endurance, which they already want to target them with. Okay, I am keeping this end. You have Tugo's Quarter in the sideboard. Do I know why? Tron, Hammer, Urza Saga decks. Shelly D, very powerful cube card, but that's because you start on 40 cards. Otherwise, it's not a very good card, but in this deck, it's good because you mill your opponent, and then they go down to 20 cards, and then you cast your spell for free. Opponent with Swamp Go, that's unexpected. Not a common first land to play. Push? Alright, push it down. That's why you play Crab on turn 2. I mean, not that I had any choice, but even if I did, I wouldn't have played Crab on turn 1. Okay, so my opponent's playing the Cabal Coffers deck. They're already on 4 cards. 5 with a land that is surgical. 18 with the Archive Trap. Sorry, that's surgical. That I feel the ruin. 18 with the Archive Trap. So that is not enough. They want to feel the ruin this land so that they can't Shelldock Isle my land. No, I don't think so. They play Cabal Coffers. They'd rather feel the ruin the Urborg or the Cabal Coffers. I'm just Tashaing them here. So many cards I mill. I milled 22 cards. Vita questa. What am I playing against? Ashiok, Damnation, Cling. Porca merda, 22 cards I just milled. 3 mana? Not even mill, exile. 3 mana, exile 22. Pretty powerful. Why don't you play Glimpse of tomorrow? Well, because that mills 10, this one mills 22. So much more. Alright. Although, of course, exiling slightly bad when your plan is to mill them to draw cards here. Surgical. Okay. They have 25 cards in the deck. That means I cannot use Shelldock Isle. I think I want to feel the ruin the Urborg here. Unthinkable, sorry. Sorry, I was wrong. Yeah, the tutor costs 0 as well. Vabbè dai, here I pass. Let's see what they do at the end of the turn. Okay, they do nothing. I think I'm gonna feel the ruin at this land here. Nah, probably not. I mean, I've drawn in the Loch open because they played Urborg. Yeah, no, I think you can go. Surgical plus double Archive Trap. It doesn't work like that. Surgical doesn't work. Doesn't make your Archive Trap work. Okay, you played Karn. I mean, I guess I could drown it. Do I want to surgical something? Yeah, I think I'm surgical in what? Karn? I think so. Like my opponent deck must have many cards. Yeah, they have 1 in hand, in fact. And 2 in deck. Perfect. This is what I wanted to do. So I wanted to Surgical Karn because I think it's the card I play 4 of, and I didn't mill a single one. You want to play Nihil Spellbomb instead of Lantern. So the thing is that Nihil Spellbomb doesn't target, which is a big deal against Leyline of Sanctity, which some players side in against you. You saw Living End sided in against you. Alright, this was very easy. What's the place that my opponent will side in against me? Maybe they have Emrakul, maybe. Because I can cast Emrakul. I think this is a matchup for Ghost Quarter. I'll just remove the removal spell. I'll just remove the removal spell. I've seen Ashiok. Is that relevant? Not really. I just bring in some Extirpate. Yeah, I think so. The removal spell are bad. Answers to Karn. Nothing. I guess Baleful Mastery exiles a Karn. So I'll keep that one in. Alright, let's go. Mill. Very strong deck. Okay. Keep. Once again, going Shelly D on turn 1 instead of Crab because of Fatal Push. Shelly. You can't play lands at this card, so the only available choice was that Surgical. Maid's Mind Tome. I don't play double Crab because, I mean, my opponent surely can have double removal spell, but probably just have 1. Wow. That's a card I didn't expect. Draw. Fractured Sanity. That's 9. I don't have much to do. I'm just gonna go Tasha here. I mean, I could cycle this. Maybe I should cycle the Fractured Sanity. End of turn. You can play lands with Hideaway? You might play that. No. Can you? It's not like Gonti? Oh wow, I didn't know that. I thought it was like Gonti. I swear, I played this card for what, 6 years in the cubes. I never thought you could play a land with this card. Yeah. Anyway, the thing is that I'm a little bit afraid my opponent has Emrakul. So I kind of want to draw with Fractured Sanity first. I will. I will now, maybe? Or do I just Tasha? Okay, sure, I'll just Tasha. Not Tasha. How many cards? 22, a classic. 22 cards are down. 3 mana, mill 22. Puttana. Che mina, ragazzi. What a bomb, Tasha. Karn. Alright. Karn is in. They had a card from the Great, and now they can take a card from the Exile Zone as well if they want. They picked up choose Liquimeta Coating, okay. They chose a Liquimeta Coating. Draw. I need a Lantern. Lantern? Tasha. They have 20 cards in the deck. Do you think we do it? Man, I really wish I had that land under the Shelly. No, that's not true. Do I just do it? We have lethal without Tasha. So the thing is, I don't know if I'm putting as Emrakul in the deck. You know, this is game 2. And I'm so easily winning without Emrakul, right? I don't know, maybe not, because they blow up a land. Nah, I think I will win. So let's say I Tasha, and they have Emrakul. I think it's best. I think it's best to just Tasha them, and if they have Emrakul, maybe I exile it. You know what I mean? No, I mean I could float them on. I go score to myself. I know I could mill 20. Because you go float blue mana, go score to yourself, and then you have 14 plus 6, 20. I mean, I wish I could just surgical a card to see if they have Emrakul, but I have Extirpate, so I can't cast it. So now Extirpate is worse. I think I just Tasha. I think I need to play around Emrakul. I'm winning this game almost surely if they don't have Emrakul. I milled 18 cards. Okay, so they have 2 cards in the deck. They have 2 cards in the deck. I'm probably not even going to mill them at this point, because if the last card is Emrakul, I want to make them draw it. They scry to the bottom. They have 1 card in the end that they know about. Sorry, 1 card in the deck that they know about, and 3 cards in the end. And the card. See, Gabina, liquid magic coaching, that's true. Okay, you can blow up my island, not even Shelly's. Okay. Okay, so they blow up a land with the combo Karn plus coding. 1 card in the deck. Shuffles and gain life, the elixir of immortality. Yeah. Although they have 40 cards in the exile zone. This is the exile zone. 40 cards. Yeah, elixir of immortality. Not that many people play it. Okay, so I draw here. Yeah, I'm not moving. I'm not moving. I don't want to mill a card and it's Emrakul, you know? Do I want to draw a card with Visions of Beyond? No. No, no. Maybe. Alright, I conceded. Yeah. Alright, chat. Good game. I mean, maybe they have Emrakul as the last card. Maybe they drew it. Anyway, we got W. Let's go 3-0. Mill, mill, mill. Game 1 with this deck is usually easy. Whenever you play against these low decks. Post Sideboard, often they have an Emrakul. At least this used to be the way before. Again, Mill kind of felt out of the favor, felt out of Raider. Nobody top 8 a challenge in so many months with Mill, so... Yes, it still triggers even you extirpate it. Because Emrakul goes in the graveyard, and the trigger goes on the stack. Okay? Visions doesn't target. What do you mean? Yeah, he draws a card. Yeah, I wasn't going to say... Oh, you mean target them. Oh, I understand. No, it says draw a card. No. So yeah, the way the thing works is you just draw... The Emrakul goes in the graveyard, and its trigger goes on the stack. And you can't do anything about it. Okay, this, for example, is a case where I just play Crab and pass. Sorry, I meant to say I just play Island and pass. I can also just cycle this Visions, I don't know. Because the Visions really needs the Archive Trap to be good. No, only itself is Blasted Colossus Progenitus. Those cards only shuffle themselves. But the Eldrazi's, they shuffle. What's this? I'm in the weird decks bracket today, by the way. Do I want to cycle? No, I think I'll wait. I'll just take a tap land. Go. Tomba di Urami. Sì, vabbè, ma ammazzi a caso oggi. I remember when this card used to be played in Legacy ad nauseum as a beat plan. Just go Tomba of Urami, just a bunch of rituals, make a 5/5 plus sideboard. Your opponent takes out all the plows and you win that way. Fury? Wow, poor crab. Actually, do you kill your own creature? You kill your own creature if you like. Oh, Malaki Rebirth? Oh, wow. Push cannot kill the Fury. It's too big. Okay, they only have one land too. Draw. I'll play Tasha. How many cards I exile? Only 11! Unlucky. Unlucky. Dai, doppia Fury. Tasha, what do you do? We used to mill 22. What changed? I paid 3 mana to mill 10 cards. Sorry, 11 cards. That's not the card I remember. If I've been, I take 7 here. They only have 1 land. Man, but I can't lose to 1 lander, please. Please. Drown? Terra. No. Spell. Spell. No, that's a bad spell. 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 Niente, chat. Yeah, it doesn't even power as an ancestral. Exactly. I mean, usually you're fine with this number of Tasha Visions. Quanti anni sono? 6, 8, 3. I think that's it. I think it's over. Che morte di merda. È andata. Good game. Alright. I didn't do anything this game. My deck did not function. Va bene, va bene, va bene. What do I want? Go for the throat. Fatal push is probably bad. Maybe they have Ragavan. Well, at least they don't have Endurance or Drazzies. I'm gonna win this matchup. I'm gonna win this matchup. Yeah, I'll win this matchup. Do I need Surgical? They have Ragavan. It's gonna be okay, chat. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Don't worry. Would you like to play first? Yes. It's going to be okay. We're gonna fetch turn 1, lose 26 cards, and then it's fine. I'll start with Swamp so they think I have a push for the Ragavan. So they play Unlucky Witness instead. Okay, they fetch. Very nice. Very nice. Ragavan. Meal 26. Oh wow, they have Blood Moon. Weird. Bene. You go. Land, kill Ragavan. Go. Before they untap so that they have the protection. Buongiorno, Lemona. You don't like Mill? Why? People should love tier 3 decks. Even if it's not like that great of a game plan, we all should love decks that, you know, don't win very often. We should always root for the deck that isn't the stock tier 1 deck. Yeah, they have Grief Ephemerate or whatever. Blink. Why didn't they play in their turn if they had Grief? I mean, I guess they drew it now. Yeah. You root for Murktide and for a Collar. I root for Murktide as well. Murktide, it's always when Murktide wins, means that the format's very good and very balanced. Keeps the format in check with some nice fair magic. Very fun to play with or against. Alright, my opponent does the thing. Very good, very good. They have 4 cards in hand. You don't. Oh, it's a bad matchup, Mill against Amulet? Yeah, I guess. Bloodghasts. Oh no. Oh no, I milled the Bloodghasts. Madonna, Mama, this is turn 2! They griefed me twice and to... What do I exile? The Ragavan or the Grief? I think I exile the Grief. And make you draw a card. I shouldn't have played this land, that was a mistake. I take 6, down to 14. You exile a land. You play a land. And you play Spyro. Okay, go to 19 cards. Shelly. Allora, my opponent has 19 cards. The Shelly can cast one of these cards. So Crypt Incursion, what does it do? I gain 3 life for each creature in the graveyard. How many do they have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 times 3. I don't know how much that does, but that sounds a number that's very big. 42? Is that 42 life? Am I better off in gaining 42 life or drawing 3 cards? This is really the value of Ancestral Recall, Healing Salve. Draw 3 or gain 42? What's better? What's better, chat? Draw 3 or gain 42? I think it's gain 42. Yeah, I'm gonna gain 43. 42. I hope I can just... I hope I can, just... I hope I can gain enough turns to draw another mill spell, you know? It's about 3 turns? Could be about 3 turns, yeah. So here how much damage that is. 9. I go to 5. And the Ragavan connects. Visions of Beyond. No, vabbè. Okay, I'm dead regardless. But they flipped Ancestral Recall, by the way. If a Gregor is swinging cards in it. Alright, GG. I got 2-0'd by a Red Black Sacrifice. Fair enough. You told me? What did you tell me? Open Bombardment? Alright, sweet. Thank you for telling me. I have might not have enough basics. Oh, we should have. Yeah, I should have. Yeah. What possessed me to play Mill? Why do you dislike Mill? What's happening? Well, why do you dislike Mill? It's not a very good deck. You should be happy to play against Mill. We want to play against 4-color every round. Leading again, that's fun. Oh, Hammer Time, that's also very fun, yeah. 3-2 leading the dream? No, let's go 4-1, come on. I want to go 4-1. I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad deck, but it's like... not one of the top performers in modern, top performer in modern, so we should definitely be like, cool, play against Mill. Alright, would you like to play first? Yes, I would. Keep. I'm gonna start with a fetch land though, because do I want to start with a fetch land? Same player? I think I'm just going land go here. Yeah. I don't want to push up. I can just go crab push next turn. But I don't want to. What do I want to push on turn 1? What do they play on turn 1? That I need to push. If I play fetch land, I lose a mill 3. Draw. Crab. Oh, this trigger. And unfortunately now if they have Murktide Regent, they can cast it on turn 2. I'll pass for now, right? I have a 0-3 to put rock there, I go in. Goblin Guide, that's true. Yeah. But I would have lost, I would have lost 3 a fetch. I don't know. Anyway, if they go Murktide, it's just a 4-4, so that's not big. Dress Down Main, the decklist that top hated the showcase. Oh, nice, fetch land. Had 2 Dress Down Main. And no Ledger Shredders. That's at 4-4 Merc. That attack first? I'm blocking, don't worry. My crab is here for that reason. And you're already in Delirium, so if you wanted to deal 6 damage to this, you could have done it. And see, because we didn't play fetch on turn 1, I'm gonna mill 3 additional card here. Alright, I'll archive trap you. And I'm going. Do I want to push this? How many creatures do you have? 1, 2, 3. So I can gain 9 life in my turn. I think it's alright. I'll gain 9 lives. Never mind, I'm playing Tasha. Or maybe actually, if I depends if I mill more. Let's see. Let's see how many creatures I mill. I milled 0 creature now. And I milled 0 creature now. Okay, so you're on 25 cards. I'm going to play Tasha here. How much do I mill? Boom! I milled 18. Okay, you have 7 cards in your deck. You have 7 cards in your deck. On turn 3. Beam! Beam! Che figata. If they play a new Murktide, they can attack me for 9. That's okay, though. I can gain a lot of life with Crypt Incursion next turn. And if I draw land, I win just by this and cycling. Sure, land express reiteration. I don't know. I'm not resolving any more spells. What? Why? They're certainly not in the position to not play a spell and leave up counters. They have 4 cards in the deck. I have a crab. I mean, I'm just cycling. Game is over. They have 4 cards. I think I actually want to cast this card. No, vabbè, dai. I wanted to, I don't know, thinking about sideboarding out, so. Va bene, do I sideboard this out? Probably not. Allora. My opponent doesn't have any... Yeah, so I'm taking out Surgical. Go for the Throat comes in. I don't really get Eliminate. Why there's Eliminate in my deck? I don't know. Maybe Teferi? Is Swagger Lantern good? Bridge? Crypt Incursion? Is Damnation good? Probably not. Yeah, I think this is fine. I'm very often taking out Surgical whenever I play against an unfair deck. Sorry, a fair deck. I know I could Surgical Murktide, but that's not the way I play Magic. I respect if that's the way you play Magic, but that's not my way. Va bene, very good end. I remember there was a post that I think I retweeted, which was so funny. I think I retweeted it. 1 second, I'm gonna scroll down because it was very funny. Oh yeah, it was this one. So it was the other night at my local modern event, I had 2 lands and Fatal pushed on a monkey and they played another. Every time monkeys won for the rest of the match, he pulled my lands and the other Fatal pushes from the top of the deck. And that's fine, you know, of course, assuming that monkey is good because it removes cards from your deck, which is a flaw, but that's okay. But then the final sentence. I even Surgical Murktide Expressive Iteration and still lost. That is the Ragavan is broken. They must ban the fact that this works. He's brute. Yeah, so that made me laugh. Okay, so the flaw is if your opponent removes card randomly from your deck, it doesn't do anything. You should be happy that they exile Fatal Push, because that means they are not exiling cards that they can cast profitably. And if you Surgical, you go down, and it's very bad. The Legacy Riddlesmith deck, you can check out the video on YouTube. Posted yesterday. They say that lost to Ragavan in month 5, yeah. Okay. I am going to kill the Channeler. I think my opponent plays the version that doesn't have Shredder in the main. And even if they do, I do have a round next turn. That's okay. Nice draw. What does this do again? 7 card, easy. They played that one. I think I'm countering it. And then we Tasha. Not Tasha. Actually, since I draw Visions, should I go for Fractured instead? I think so. So my opponent can now play Murktide, yes. But I turn on my Visions and my Into the Story. This way. And the Murktide was already going to be large because they have 1, 2, 3. So it was already going to be a 6/6. Now it's just an 8/8. Although Tasha would have milled infinite cards because there were not a single Murktide in the top deck. One has 34 cards in the deck. Maybe I was supposed to Tasha, yeah. I don't know. Anyway, they pass. They don't have a land? Cool. Oh, what a draw. Allora, I'm going to go for the Throat to the Murky. They removed cards from the graveyard, so this is not online anymore. Unfortunate. I'm just going to... I'm going for the Throat. And pass. I don't want to feel the ruin first, because then they can end Spell Pierce. Yeah, big regrets for playing this, because now I could have go for the Throat and cycle. Yeah, I really should have cast this Tasha last turn. Yeah, punt. That was a punt. That was a punt. I talk about the memes and I lost focus. Let's go back to focus. They're casting Murky. And then I'll cycle now. Cycle. Draw. Not great. What do I want to do here? Just play Tasha. They have Spell Pierce, Consider, Flaccid Storm. Yeah, I'm just passing now. Or I can play Crab. I know what, actually. I can return a... Yeah, I think that's better. I can return a Oboro. Return a Oboro, play Crab. Oh wait, return a Oboro. Play Crab. Play Oboro. And then I mill 3. And then I could play Tasha, they counter. Or I could not play anything and cycle Fractured. Or I play Tasha, they... Yeah, I think it's better not play anything and cycle. Go. Or not even cycle, just use field, maybe? No, I think I'll cycle. And then I'll return a Oboro. Actually, I shouldn't return a Oboro. If I draw land, it's stupid. Yeah, it's stupid. Opponent has 21 cards in the deck. Yeah, no, this is... They play Consider. I think they have 0 Lightning Bolts left in the deck, because there's 3 in exile, and if I'm not mistaken, they play 3. Do they have Basic Mountain? No. They should play 3 basic, so they have 1 left. But I'm not gonna feel the ruin. I have to cast my super expensive cards here. I go to 3. And then what's the play that I make? Could be Into the Story. Could be Crypt Incursion. I think Into the Story Does nothing though. Does it do something? Yeah, I guess. I guess the counter regardless. Draw. Hmm. How many lands I have? I have 9. I have 9, yeah. Hmm. So what happens is I can make so that they don't have lands fetchable. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna pass now. So I'm gonna pass now. Check this out, chat. Okay. Ah. Unfortunately, they. Yeah, no, I'm dead. Should I maybe acted in my turn? Maybe. Maybe that was better. Hmm. I thought they had a line, but I don't think I did actually. In my turn, I should have. In my turn, I should have milled. Sorry, my turn, I should have. I mean, wouldn't have probably worked anyway, but at least I had hope. This way I'm simply losing to Counterspell, not losing to Archmage Charm though. The other way, I... Yeah, because Steam Vents is here, so the Scalding Tarn wouldn't have fetched anything. If I did this in my turn, they would have only had 1 mana up. Still, you know, Spell Pierce and Flusterstorm get me, but at least Counterspell doesn't get me. Yeah, now I'm just going to lose to Counterspell, Flusterstorm, Spell Pierce. I didn't do it because I expected my opponent to maybe do something in end step, then it would have acted. I don't know. No, I just was wrong. I should have done it in my turn. It's okay. Alright, GG. Yeah, counterspell. Yeah, okay. Good game. If I do this in my turn, the thing is that if they just fetch, they get the steam vent, so they still can counter me. I was pretty locked out anyway. Alright, let's go to game 3. I still stand by not bringing in surgical. Anything else? No, that's good. Let's go. I'm on the play now. Last game, I would have played Tasha instead of the fractures would have been so much better. So much better. Alright, lesson learned. Let's go. It's not the best end, but it has lands and spells. I'm gonna keep it. Okay, they have a fetch land in play. That's good to know. Yeah, we could have Mystical Dispute in the Saber for this matchup. For sure. I think I'll go Archive Trap. It's only Mystical Dispute that hurts me now. And that card is always a beating. Spellbiz and Fluster don't do anything. Yep, okay. I play Murktide a lot. I know this matchup isn't good, but can still do something. I'll cycle. Okay. Crabo? And don't fetch. Pass. Okay, the bolt, that means in response I can fetch. I think I'll go get a swamp here. Or island, what's better? Did I bring in Damnation? I didn't. I'm still getting a swamp though. I would Cyberdock consider against Mill. If you read my cyber guide over to CFB Pro, I say that. Because Murky? No, okay. Unfortunately, my Tasha get countered by Fluster and Spell Pierce. But I think I should run it regardless now. Okay, nice, Crabbo. Oh wow, they got Dispute on this? Sweet. Alright, let's mill 20, please. 20? 17. Okay, 1 Murktide is down. 2 Charm. Okay, they have 5 cards, 21 in the deck. Murky. Okay, they don't have counterspell. That means they go for the throat to ease. Oh, bella quella. For later though. For now, let's simply go for the throat, the Murky. They can't counter. They don't have a counterspell that countered this. I have spells near, but it's here, so. Go for the throat, once again handling the Murky. You go. And now I'll just start drawing cards in Mikokoro. Mikokoro, center of the sea. Not a land you see every day. Wow, put in Mills card. They go to 18. 17 now. They have only 1 Murky left. Ragavan. Very slow win condo. Let's draw a card end of turn. Drown, not bad. Draw. Fractured Sanity. Very good. Unfortunately, I don't have Fracture plus the Drown up, but that's fine. I'll pass for now. I'll just draw cards, stay safely with Mikokoro. Eventually, if I want, I can also cycle it. I don't have any rush. Not dashed. I think people dash Ragavan way too often. Should I kill Ragavan here? Because my opponent doesn't have lands. I don't want to give them mana, so I think I'm actually going to kill Ragavan now. You want to play Crypt Incursion? It only gains 6 life. I don't think it's very good. Nice. Do they have more Ragavans? Okay. I draw a card end of turn. Both players draw a card. They go to 14 cards in the deck. Visions from Beyond. Fatal Push. Okay, very good. I pass for now. They have 14 cards in the deck. So the way you win this game right now is you make your opponent so scared to ever tap their lands. Okay? And they just can't deploy. I'll push the Ragavan. That's the 3rd one. They have 13 cards in the deck. Can this Polluted Delta fetch any land, honestly? 1 Steam Vents is here. 1 Island is here. Once the event's easier, so they actually have one island. Okay. Am I winning? I think so. They play Murky. Oh wow, they exiled 3 creatures and left 2 instants in the graveyard. Chat, did somebody tell my opponent I have a Crypt Incursion in my hand? Was it you, chat? Who told my opponent I have a Crypt Incursion in my hand? Va bene. Resolves. It's a 5/5 because I don't know why it didn't hit your spells. This is even the last Merc died. But, my bad. Let's draw a card with Mikokoro. And let's draw a card with Visions and Beyond. My opponent has 12 cards in the deck now. Crabo. Draw. They have 12 cards in the deck. Fatal Push. Ah, che palle. Well. If I play Tasha, they can fetch, get Island, and play Counterspell. I think I have a line here that's pretty fun. I'm going to play Tasha, they fetch, in response I cycle, so that I'm very likely to mill a land. Because either end of turn with Mikokoro they could have drawn a land, or I could mill it. So they only have 7 cards in deck to find a land. Let's see. Okay. So yeah, they have 1 island to fetch. I'm going to cycle now, and hopefully I mill the land. And even if I don't and they counter, it's fine. Like, I'm on 19. They can even have, like, Flastus or Spell Pierce. It's okay, again. They go to 8 cards. And they, I mean, they could play 4 Murktide. Nobody tells you that you have to play 3 Murktide only. It's just that most people do. Okay, so I didn't mill an island. They have island in play. They have 7 cards in the deck. And they play Counterspell. That should be the last Counterspell too, right? Yeah, that's the 4th Counterspell. Oh, Spell Pierce. Okay. They could still have 1 Counterspell for what it's worth. Six cards in their deck. They could dash the 4th Ragavan or play a 4th Murktide. It depends what their deck is. They play 4th Murktide. And now I'm dead next turn. Yeah, opponent even left the counterspell up. I really wish I milled that island. Because now my opponent was able to play Murktide and the counterspell up. If I draw Fetchland, I think I win. Can we please draw Fetchland? Hey, I think I lose now, huh? Yeah, I just play Tasha, they counter, I lose. No outs, unfortunately. I mean, the outs is if they don't have a counterspell in hand. Lightning Bolt face? Okay, I guess they don't have counterspell in hand. Oh, Flastastorm. Oh, wow. Yeah, Flastastorm does it. Alright, GG. GG. Okay, 3-2. That's alright. Close games. You think opponent straight sniped? It could be. I mean, I don't know. I'm a streamer, so I shouldn't really bring that up every time my opponent plays around a card in my hand, because then it puts a lot of stress into the opponents playing against streamer, because they always assume they ghost when they play around things in your hand. But why not play Crab first to not die to Flusterstorm? Why not double Crab, then hope for draw land? Because if they don't have counterspell in hand, I win without having to hope to draw land. Plus, they can just bolt my Crab, and I don't even win. Okay. I think we played this league well. And we got a 3-2, which I am happy with. I hope you enjoyed the league.